Okay, everyone. We are live. We have our President, Augustine. We have our VP Education, Aderonke. We have our VP Postgraduates, Adu. And we have our VP Welfare, Abby. And I think to start off with, Ronke, could you give us a bit of an update about NUS Conference and what you've been working on?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ronke, and I'm the Vice President for Education. So currently, the NUS Conference is ongoing. It started yesterday, and it continues today, and it ends today. I'll just give a brief update, introduction into what NUS is. The NUS is the National Union Body for students, and is made up of over 600 student unions across the UK, and represents over 7 million students and apprentices. The union is run by the members, and the National Union does the NUS Conference. It's usually called the NUS Conference, and basically what we do at the NUS Conference is we vote the leaders, the new leaders for the next year, and we vote on policies that might be affecting students, and we tell NUS what to focus on for the next year, and also review some of the work the NUS has been doing over the past year. This year, considering the ongoing situation, everything is done online. And we started yesterday with a welcome speech from Zamzam, the president. And today we'll be voting on policies. And yesterday we elected some of our officers that will be working and leading the Union of Students for the next year, which is the national president, the VP for education for FE, VP education for HE, that's higher education and further education. Currently, we have 10 representatives, which are called delegates, that will be representing Coventry University as a group at the conference. And these delegates are the ones that will vote for the national leaders, they're the ones that will vote on the policies, and they're the ones that would vote on those that will review the work of NUS over the past year. Today, the results for NUS were announced, and we have Larissa Kennedy. She was elected as the national president, and Sal Sabil Emrigri was elected the VP Further Education, and Hilary Gwelbi Ababio was elected the VP Higher Education. So for today, we'll be voting on various policies. These policies are what will guide the works of the union, the national union, for the next 1 year. And some of the policies, I'll just talk about some of the policies briefly, because as delegates, we're asked to watch some of these videos on these policies and vote on some of these policies we feel might be affecting students. And I feel some of the policies that came up were really important, and they are really real issues that are affecting students. 8 policies were selected. We had student unions submit different policies, and 8 policies were selected. And apart from these 8, 2 were also added to the policies. We have the emergency policy on COVID-19 pandemic. So this policy was just added. And this policy basically is just trying to highlight some of the problems that might be facing some of our members. That's international students, disabled students, estranged students, and students from low-income backgrounds that the COVID pandemic might affect during this period. Yeah, and the other policies on priority policy, building a movement to support education. The campaign is an NUS 10-year campaign for a better education, which is fully funded, lifelong, and accessible for all. And some of the other policies, it identified the let's end this mental health crisis. We've seen that there's a lot of mental health crisis affecting universities, and NUS is trying to ensure that the institutions and NHS are taking the right steps to address mental health among students across the UK. And the 4th is declaring a climate emergency. The 5th, international student support and experience. I'm sorry I cannot discuss all these policies in details, but these are some of the policies that we'll be discussing at the conference. And I'll just mention the remaining, the need for national student housing because of the issues surrounding housing and the issues we've been seeing in the news surrounding housing. So NUS is placing housing as a priority. And parity in healthcare for all students, ending exploitation while studying, ending securitization, surveillance, and prevent. And these are all the policies. So today we'll be talking about and discussing some of these policies and vote on some of these policies that will guide the work of the NUS for the next year. In other news, NUS is calling for non-essential exams to be cancelled and for final year students to be given choice over what they are assessed during this COVID period, considering this is not the regular period. This is not the regular teaching will be done online. It's no longer physical teaching. Students can't access some of the resources they need to be able to do some of the assessments and coursework. So NUS is calling for non-essential exams to be cancelled to better support students during this period. So this is something that I would like to take on as the VP Education and see how the university can respond to this. In other news, the educational updates I have for you all is that, as you've all seen, every student receives an automatic 2 weeks extension to all their assessments. And this is a good development, which I think this came up as a result of the petitions that we've seen students call for. There was a petition to cancel coursework. There's a petition for the No Detriment Policy. And we have a petition. We also had a petition to extend the assessment, and the university has already obliged to this, and they extended all coursework. This includes all courseworks and final year dissertation. So all final year students, they were initially granted an extension till 26th of April, but now it's been moved to 1st of May. So, but in other news, we're still seeing some petitions like the cancellation of all exams, and the numbers of students that are signing this petition is a lot. So we are looking for how to better address this, because not all students want their assessment to be, cancelled. But we're looking at other options like the No Detriment Policy. Now, the No Detriment Policy would ensure that all students across the group their average will not be affected during this period, because there have been changes to the way teaching, learning, and assessment is taking place during this period. So we want to ensure that even if you're writing any exam, if you're writing any assessment, it doesn't affect your overall average, considering the changes that have occurred during this period. So for now, we're still in talks with the university, and I meet regularly with the universities every Thursday to ensure that your voice is being heard and all the issues that are affecting you are considered by the university. So I think that's it from me.
Thanks, Ronke. It sounds like you've been pretty busy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And thank you so much. To know that you've got to dash to back to your NUS conference shortly.
Yes, I will.
So, and we did have a question, but that was about No Detriment Policy, which you've answered, which is great. Thank you.
Okay.
So next, I think I might hand over to Addy, if you can kind of give us a little bit of an update about what you've been working on. I know there was some movement with PGSU and what's happening with that, which would be great to hear about.
Yeah, I hope everyone is doing well and everyone is keeping safe as well. So with regards to the postgraduate side of things, what we've been doing basically is to try to update students with regards to the changes that is going on. And most of you will know by now that there has been an extension of 2 weeks on all courseworks with regards to every single student within the university and the group as well. And one additional thing is that exams, as mentioned, will be going on as normal. Most exams will be held online, so there will be digital exams that most of the students will be undertaking. So for the PGSU side, normally what happens is that every semester there are a series of seminars that goes on from the postgraduate strategy. So these seminars, what they were practically focusing on this particular semester was to look at mental health and well-being. But unfortunately, with regards to the situation that we're in now, that's not something that's going to go on. So currently, they're looking at different ways in which they can still be able to engage students on that particular topic, which is the mental health and well-being. So I will endeavor that all of you keep an eye out with regards to this seminars that will be going on, because the situation that we're in now, I think it perfectly fits into what we're looking for in order for us to keep on being engaged with regards to our mental health and also our well-being as well. So that's something that you need to keep an eye out for. So we'll be having those seminars still, but then again, it might come in a different way or we might do it differently. Yeah, so that's it from my side.
That's great, thank you. So let's hand over to Abby now. I know you've been pretty busy. I think probably the big topic that's falling on your shoulders a minute is probably around housing and accommodation. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Have you got a little update for us around that?
Yes, then. Thank you, Dan. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Abby, and I'm currently working on housing issue. While we're encouraging students to stay indoor and stay back in their accommodation, But for those that have left, we're ensuring that we're talking to your provider, asking them to offer options of no penalty release and refund to you that have left or about to leave your accommodation. Unfortunately, the government hasn't given any advice regarding to this, but so far, things are changing day by day, and if it changes, we will keep giving you an update. So the student union and I will continue to pressure accommodation providers. If we don't get any response, we will go alongside with NUS, which is National Student Union, and to ensure that your voice are heard, and to ensure that you get refund back and you are able to opt out from your contract if you want to, due to the current situation. I will encourage every student to keep staying safe, ensuring they keep practicing good hygiene, and also ensure that if they have any inquiries or any further questions, they could email me at ad2672@coventry.ac.uk. Over to you, Dan.
That's great, thanks, Abby. And I think, like you said, the situation is changing day by day with accommodation. So the best thing to do is keep an eye on the website on kusu.org. We'll be publishing updates as and when we get them. You know, we're looking at putting together per accommodation provider who's doing what. So if you keep an eye on the website, then we can we'll keep that up to date. And also, just to reiterate what Abby said, you know, the government advice right now is if you are in halls, to stay there. So you know, we don't want people trying to leave and getting stopped by the police and that kind of thing. So stay safe, everyone. Last but by no means least, I'm going to let's chat to Augustine. Augustine, I think you've got the some interesting new ideas to talk about, haven't you?
Yeah, sorry, I think I was. Hello. Yeah, hi Dan. I was muted before. So my name is Augustine. I'm your union president. So far so good with the lockdown and the situation which we find ourselves in. We've been able to think around the box and come up with some new ideas of how to engage students and how students can also inform us of what they would like to see. So on the KUSU website, we have a new platform which is called Your Idea. So as a student, if you have any new idea you want the union to put in place or a new campaign you want to see, you can go to the website, pop in the idea, and it gets voted on by other students. So students can give thumbs up or thumbs down to the idea which you've posted. So when it gets a certain level of votes, then it can be moved on to the Union Affairs Committee, who would look at it and probably approve the campaign to come on, or for you to see the campaign which you have put in there. So the idea session has some tabs on it. When you look at it, you have sustainability. So if you have any idea around sustainability, feel free to put in whatever idea you want us to implement on sustainability, and we'll look at it, and if it's approved, you'll see it come to pass. We have postgraduates, which refers to the postgraduate officer. So if you have any idea you want the postgraduate officer to actually put in place, you can also put in your ideas there, and it will come to pass. The sustainability one is handled by the sustainability officer. So on the tab, we have big ideas. So big ideas is ideas which you want to see in general, is probably ideas you want for the university group and everywhere. You want an idea to be carried around the university group. So it's handled by myself, the president. So any idea you want to see me implement, feel free to also put it in there. The activity tab is for the vice president for activities. You can also put in your ideas, any new activity you want to see on campus, group-wide, feel free to put in there. We have education, equality and diversity, internalization and culture, sports and well-being. So each of these tabs is linked to a sabbatical officer who would in turn be responsible to carry out these activities. So if you have any new ideas which you want us to implement during this lockdown period, and after the lockdown period, when everything goes back to normal, you want to see something new, feel free to always use the idea session. So when you put in the idea, you can put comments. Even though you don't put in an idea and someone has an idea, you can also put in your comments and put your likes and dislikes for the comment as well. So we'll know which idea we'll be pushing forward from now on. That's it for me, Dan.
That's really great. Yeah. So the ideas platform, it's making that thing clear that we're led by students and not just at election time. It's not a once a year thing when you elect people. It's throughout the year. You, our members, you can tell us what you would like, and it's a great way for officers to understand what would be popular among students and what wouldn't be, and where we need to do more, or what we could be doing. We really are a student-led democratic organisation, so that's fabulous. Well, thanks all for this afternoon.
Thank you.
It's been really useful, and this will be going up as a video that people can view after the fact as well. And I think Liam's just shared a link to the ideas platform in the chat as well, so people can have a look at that there. But yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Thanks all for your time.
Thank you.
And say, anyone out there, you can by all means, contact your officers anytime you like. Email addresses are on the website. Use the ideas platform. We can help you best when we know how we can help you. So the best thing to do is just tell us what you need. Okay.
Thanks you, everyone. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Be safe.
Bye bye.